Today we have something special. We have a Makita angle grinder. I got this one for free. This one was given to me and it doesn't work, of course. Yep, $0 paid, and I like it. It's old school and it was working and it stopped working. It's a little bit scratched up, used condition, and this is Makita model GA5010Z. I'm not sure what is wrong with this grinder. Yeah, let's confirm the issue and yeah, get it going if we can. If not, I'd use it for parts. I like this design, old school grinder. Yeah, let's see what we can do and get this puppy going if we can. If not, I use it for parts. We'll see. First, as usual, let's confirm the issue. Let's plug it in, grinder, and see. Oh, it's actually working, and I can hear the grinding sound from the gear reduction part with the bevel gear. Seems like we might have some worn out bushing or bearing, and I was told it didn't even turn over. Probably the bevel gear got wedged. Oh, as you can see, no, it's not turning. All right, yeah, let's see what's up. Let's unplug it and yeah, tear it apart. Like to start with the easiest parts to get. Let's check the brushes. There's easy access point here. There's a little plug on the side. Let's pull them out and see how they look like. And yeah, we have plenty of material left, evenly wearing out, not chipped. A little bit chipped on this side, if you can see it. Yeah, overall, nice used brushes. Let's take a look inside for the rotor. Yep, looks just fine. Let's put it back and check the other side as well. Pop the cover off. Yeah, surprisingly, grinder turned on and worked for a few seconds. Yeah, brushes are perfectly fine, as you can see. Yeah, just a standard regular wear, not a big of a deal. All good. Let's put them back. All right, we already know the grinder turned on, worked for a few seconds. We heard the grinding noise. Let's get straight to the reduction gear and see what's happening on this end. And yeah, just pop this cover off. Oh, it's wrong size bit. And yeah, I think we'll have some issue with the bushing probably. Let's take this screws off. Yeah, keep all screws organized in a tray. And there you go. One more. Make sure your screwdriver has a good grip. That way you won't round the splines, and yeah, you have to use a proper bit. Okay, well, one more. There we go. Here's our ring gear, the shaft, and a running bearing. They call it the pilot bearing. Yeah, no missing grinded damaged teeth. Bearing is nice and silky smooth. Yeah, no and a little bit of axial play, which is allowed. No play from side to side, just very, very little, which is okay. Don't have any play on the bushings, no play from side to side. Yeah, actually it's spinning like a butter, not a big of a deal. Well, we'll do the cleanup before the assembling. Let's see what we have at the housing. At the housing we have tons of old dirty grease. Alright, I have a housing cleaned up best as I could, and yeah, let's inspect the components. Good visual inspection. Okay, let's inspect the housing. No cracks, no any chipped parts. Everything looks almost like new, and inner bushing are intact. No any scoring, wear and tear. The pin is fine and it's working for locking the ring gear. And let's inspect our bevel gear. Just rotate and see if we have any broken missed teeth. Let's see the better. And yeah, looks pretty nice, almost like new. Yeah, old grease wasn't contaminated with any chunks of metal. Little, yeah, bevel gear looks just like new. We confirmed our mechanical part looks almost like brand new, just fine. Before the assembly I will apply the new grease. Let's disassemble the handle and check the switch. Sometimes the burn contacts on the switch can cause the engine to short it out. Let's just tear the handle apart. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Let's remove this guy. Guys, if this video is helpful, interesting to watch, educational, please subscribe to the channel. Very appreciated that. I'll just peel the handle apart. I think it should come apart. I think there is a plastic clip inside. Let's just pry it carefully apart. I'm just using a knife. Alright, here we go, and let's see what we have here. Alright, my grinder is unplugged, all good. Here's our motor and there's our switch. Let's inspect the wiring. Usually it breaks at the very beginning here. Alright, let's just remove this screw and see. Let's pull the harness up. There's a little bracket. Here's the switch and wires going to the motor. And have any burning marks, loose connections, rust, water intrusion. Here's a switch. There's a part number. Okay. Nothing's loose. Let's inspect the wiring to this side, where the wire could rub against the sharp edges. There's a kink here. I don't think that's an issue. Before doing any electrical measurements, let's just turn this electric motor on one more time. Alright, let's give it. Here are the exposed electrical connectors. 120 volts can hurt. Yeah, let's check the bearings. On the very back is a small bearing, on the front is bigger. Usually this one fails first. Let's listen. Yeah, I can hear it. it was grinding, it was vibrating pretty good from this part of the grinder. I will put my thumb over and yeah, we have an issue with a bearing at the very back of the motor. Yeah, worn out bearing, and that's what causing our grinder not to run properly. I can feel it, it's hot. Even from few seconds tried to run the electric motor, it's created lots of heat. Heat means increased resistance. All right, I'm going to remove 4 screws holding the housing to the body, just a regular Phillips screwdriver. Hope it will be easier for the bevel gear to come out. All right, pop the housing, just tap it carefully. Here we go. Now it's turning. Next step, let's remove our brushes out. I have one more left, and this way we can unlock the anchor guts apart. And here we go. Here's our stator with the brushes slots. We just remove those 2 brushes, and here's our rotor. This is a rare bearing, and I was mistaken, blamed this bearing for wear and tear. That felt some vibration on the housing, and I thought this bearing is faulty, but bearing is nice. Turning like a new, no play, no binding. Seal is in place. This one's good. Our pickup is just fine. Just a regular wear and tear. The rotor itself looks fine. Impeller, and it's hot. And what we have here, it's hot. I cannot hold it. Just here's a plate. Front bearing failure. Okay, that's not good. Grinding noise. Right, let's take that knot off and pull the rotor from the housing and remove the bevel gear. I remove bevel gear on a grinder just to get your wrench in the vise. We're using 11 millimeters. And just this grinder is in this vise. So better days. It broke, but it's still working. Get a nut in a wrench in a slot like that. Okay, and a rag and try to turn. It usually comes off. There we go. All right, success. Partially broken, almost failed device. Help us to crack this nut loose, and as you can see, it's coming off. A little hack. Okay. The rotor is still so hot, still all hot. Okay, let me get this nut off. Here you go. There's a nut, and it's removed. Here's our bearing, front one, like coil. There's a part number. And it doesn't look that bad. There's a shaft. Let's get inside. Oh, look. See? Tons of play. Okay, here's our bearing. Let's get a shaft inside and see, do we have any excessive play on a shaft or bearings got loose? And I don't like it. Look at that. See that bearing is moving back and forth. Let's just wipe all that grease a little bit, then we can see, do we have a problem with the bearing sitting inside the housing, or we have some issues with the racer. Okay, I'll just clean all the grease. Okay, now we see the blue bearing. Let's get the shaft in. Oh yeah, the bearing worn out, see? Yeah, we have a short bearing. See that play? Inner racer and outer racer, they just have tons of play. I'll check this one. Barely any. That's a good bearing. This bearing. Yeah, need a new bearing. A little tiny bearing. Here we go. Here's our snap ring. Keep all parts together. We'll need that for assembly. And yeah, let's push our bearing out. It shouldn't be that hard. Here we go. All right. Here's a little cap, little spacer, a washer between the snap ring and a bearing. Our little bearing, a coil, part number 6000RD, and over here we have a small print 7 to 8. Okay, and it's a coil. We'll find the replacement bearing. Yeah, here's a play. Let's pull it out. Here's a damper rubber ring. All right, let's put it away, and let's wipe the housing and see if we have any damage happen to the housing. Yeah, looks pretty good. Not a big of a deal. Okay, if you look inside the housing, the bottom slot is for the bearing. It's where the bearing sits, like that. Okay, and around the bearing we have a rubber cushion, like a damper rubber o-ring, some sort. It's not an o-ring, it's more just a rubber spacer, just absorbing whatever vibration can happen. Okay, and at the top we have a washer, like that, right? And the snap ring. We're not going to put a snap ring. Let's get a shaft inside, and inner racer of the bearing sits on this larger part of the shaft, and this one for the bevel gear. Let's get a shaft inside, like that. And it's a little bit confusing because now you can see the inner racer moves quite a bit. See? Inner racer moves, but outer racer doesn't. It sits in a groove, because visually when you have the bearing in hands, it doesn't feel that bad and worn out, but under the pressure and the rotating speed, it makes a big difference. I'm going to put a new bearing, and that should take care of the issue. And yeah, okay, let's pull everything out. I know most of the people will throw this grinder in a trash and go and buy a new one, but why to do that if you can fix the things? I like the way fixing, if it's possible, and well, not a big of a deal, and learn something. Okay, we'll get a new bearing, put everything back together, and should be all good. And there's our all components we pulled out, and yeah, they're all good. I won't disassemble a ring gear and the shaft. It's all nice and silky smooth, no play. Bearing is fine. Yeah, this little guy, front bearing, needs to be replaced. We'll put it in, and I'll show you everything. Okay, pretty good stuff. Learn how to fix things. Okay, thank you so much guys for your time watching this video. I appreciated that. And if you have any comments, questions, critiques, suggestions, put everything down in the comment section below. Yeah, will be interesting to read. And yeah, see you in the next one. Part 2 is coming up, and stay tuned. Bye bye.